Right guys, bringing you back, part 3 I believe. Now I've burnished these edges off. This is not a very good leather, I've noticed. Everything I've done, I can't seem to get a nice shine. You usually get a nice shine on that, and there's a bit of one there, but you usually get a nice shine on it. Comes up like glass. Right, the next thing we've got to do is we've got to do a strap that's going to come over the top of the hatchet, like that. Come over the top of the hatchet and down there like that to keep it on. Now, the reason I only do these 5/8 wide is because the snappers I use are 5/8 across. So what I'm now going to do is mark up 5/8 like so. Another one in there. I'm going to have to, I've made this longer than it really needs to be, because when I've finished I can trim back, which I'd much rather do. There we go. So I'm going to take that piece out. Okay. Get that piece off there. Then what I'm going to do is, where are we? Take that piece off there and that piece off there, so we've got that shape at the end. I didn't put it on the other side, have we? Might have. Tell you what though, I've got to put my timer on. I don't know where I am. Damn nuisance that. I thought you would have been able to put a video up there for as long as it takes, you know, instead of having to keep an eye on your timer. Right, I'm going to put some. Now these lines down this, these are cosmetic. They don't serve any other purpose other than, shall we say, to make it look pretty. So like so. So now we've got them done, and I should be cutting off this end when the surplus from that end. Now, while I was away polishing that off, I quickly shot indoors and had a cup of tea, or made a cup of tea. Edge this off now. I can dye and polish this a little bit later, but I just want to, I'm getting paranoid about boring people. That's my problem. People are thinking, oh, for Christ's sake, get on with it, mate, you know, it's getting a bit boring now. And I know where they're coming from when they say that, you know. So I mean, I've had it myself sometimes. They rub it on like I do and get nowhere. So that's that one done. I'm going to have to thinning that off as well, actually, because I've got to put some on there. So let's have a look, see what that does. Yeah, that might do it. That's me pulling it through the splitter. Now I've taken those pieces off, and we should be a bit thinner now. I should dye this so it matches that side. Right, I'm going to put 2 snaps on here because I don't know the distance from his hatchet round. So if I put 2 on there, I've got to be somewhere near right, haven't I? Right, hopefully. He says. Now I do edge these off on the underside as well. And as I say, I run these through my little buffing machine that I've made to burnish the edges, and then we can go from there. That's that done. It's done on the top side as well. Now, what I'm going to have to do first, I believe, is I'm going to have to put a little, I keep forgetting, little stitch line down here, and then come across the bottom over to here and finish. And in this right in this corner here, I should be putting a rivet, a small one, so when he comes to, let's get it right, when he comes to putting the axe in like that, he's not going to cut the stitching before he folds it in. So that's what we do there, because a lot of the places you can buy, I mean, this here's an example, this hatchet, they are very good, they're the most expensive ones, and I do like to buy decent gear, but where are we? They put an absolutely pants sheath on it. I couldn't believe what they put. I can't find it now. I had it here somewhere. It was absolutely pathetic, and it was made out, no, can't find it. It was made out of artificial leather. They spent all that money on that, and they used something that was like cardboard, which is what a lot of them do. They call it, oh yeah, prime leather. We only use prime leather. Well, you know, I only use harness leather, but this isn't harness leather. This is the back leather butt. This is hard wearing, but for the type of stuff I do, it's ideal. Right, now I'm going to do that. I can put this on even when I finish stitching it, so it's not going to be a problem. So first things first, let's turn you around and put a couple of stitches in this and see how close we can get. So bear with me, I think I'm going to have to lift the camera up. Let's turn it around first to find out. I'm just going to turn it around to face the machine. Where are we? Where's the machine? Oh, there. Actually, you can see the machine there, which would be good enough. Now this machine does not take prisoners. I repeat, it does not take prisoners. So when this foot comes down and this needle comes down, you've got a lot of pressure coming down there. So let's turn the baby on. It sounds all rattly, but it's not. It's because of all the stuff that's on the side of the bench. Now I'm going to do a lock stitch first. Which is basically just a stitch going backwards. Another one going forwards. I'm just going to do a spread stitch there, as we call it in the trade, or did used to call it in the trade. And we're now going to go in this in this stitch groove, as I said. And if I make a blunder anywhere down the road, then you know, it happens. It's not the end of the world. I mean, this sort of stuff, you can make this sort of stuff out of offcuts of leather. I'm sorry if my hand's blocking it, but that's the only way I can do this. Another one, and another one, and I'm going to go one more. That's it. Now I'm going to turn it round. Now if people find that it jumps a stitch when they go backwards, it's the main reason for that, I can tell you, purely for information purposes if you don't know, is that you have to go down with the needle, let it pick up the bobbin thread and start coming back up. But before taking the needle out of the job, lift up the foot and rotate the job, and then it won't jump that stitch. Not a lot of people know that as it happens, but there you go. Now I'm just going back a couple of threads just to lock that off. There you go, foot all the way up, needle all the way up, lift the foot and the job should come out just like that. You think there's something sticking, put your foot down, turn that off. Time for a slurp of my tea, as you do. I'll now turn you round. To where you were, something like that, wasn't it? Yeah. Now what we got is we got ourselves a little, I don't know if can you see that, a little stitch like that. Yeah, let's put it on macro. The macro's coming up now, look. Okay. Right, that's that done. I can cut these off or burn them off later. I can put a rivet in there that'll hold that. Now what I'm hoping is when we push that in there, oh I'm so good, aren't I, hey? There you go. Now the question I ask myself, do I need to put rivets in there? And I'm looking at that, assessing it, because we've got a curved blade. Oh, that's sharp. Cool, I'll have a shave with that. As you can see, no you can't, as you can see there probably, the blade runs the same angle as the stitch, and the lowest point on the blade being that bit there. So I'm going to put a rivet in there, and that will stop the blade going any further in cutting any of that thread. Oh, so damn good, aren't I? Now, alright, when I went in and got my cup of tea, I'm not rabbiting on, I couldn't remember Dave's name. So you remembered it then, didn't you? Yeah, because I'm looking at a bit of paper with his address on, so I know. Right, now this is for Dave, I'm not going to say his surname, his Wheels Gone Wild. And I was talking on the video last night, in fact, and I could not, for some reason I kept saying something on Wheels on Fire or something, I don't know. Ain't that Paint Your Wagons or something? Well, anyway, Dave, this is your little baby, and I'm going to say this now, that I do not, and I repeat, I do not want you to put any money in the post whatsoever. This is my little gift to you. It's not much. It's only off cut of leather. I don't expect you to pay for this. The postage is going to be more than what the job's worth. So don't go down that road of, you know, bunging money on PayPal. And this Dave lives in Ontario. I do have a cousin down there at St Thomas. I don't know where that is in relation to where Dave lives, but I sent him that 7-inch sheath, and he's just shown me, proudly showed on YouTube last night, that he's got this lovely Hatchet, and the blade looks very similar to this blade, so I'm doing it on that pattern. So let's just hope that it's okay. If it's not, David, and I repeat, if it's not, please let me know, because I will get another piece of leather. I would have liked this to come up higher, really, in comparison, like mine a bit, if you know, see what I mean. But as I say, I don't really know how deep your blade is, so you know, as you in view, yeah, I don't know how deep your blade is, so I've gone about there. But this will be extra long, this strap, to hold it on, and I should put a couple of poppets on here so that one of them will fit it so it doesn't come off. But again, if that doesn't work, tell me the distance if it don't fit. Tell me the distance from here down to the bottom of the blade. That's all I really need to know, is that distance from there down to there, and I'll make it to suit that. Simple as. It's not rocket science, it's just that I haven't got the tool here to be able to do the job properly. So there you are, Dave. He's probably getting his knife sheath this week anyway, that I sent him. So rabbiting on yet again. Right, the next object is, let me just think about this, making this strap really, isn't it? So I'm going to take these dear little corners off here, like so. That's not quite gone off the end there, is it? So what I'll do is that's it. Put it. Now that's going to go on there. And what I have to do is I have to, before I tighten it up, I'll punch the rivet on, but before I tighten it up I'll get the angle. I've got to get the angle of it coming over the chopper. Not chopper, hatchet. Those choppers, they are choppers, they've got a hooked, what they call a hooked beak. They're very, very old. I used to use that for chopping up the wood to make the fire at home when I was a lad. And we used to just call them a chopper, but they're a billet, I think they call them. Don't see them about now. There was one on YouTube yet again that I saw about a week ago. Hang on, here I am rabbiting again. Let's be getting on with something. That's why I prefer to work on my own. Otherwise what happens is I just keep rabbiting and chatting instead of getting on with the job. So there we go. Let's what's happened there? I ain't touched it. I think, you know, I might have to put, I've got a darker one than this and I don't really want to use that, but there you go. I can always use that if push comes to shove. It's what I call it was supposed to be a medium brown, which is what I thought it would turn out, this colour. But to me it's not medium brown. It comes out, not this one, this is a medium brown. Light brown this is, believe it or not. But the medium brown, this is what I would term this as medium brown. But the medium brown one, which is up on the shelf there, is basically black. And I'm thinking, well, gosh, I can't use that. Is there anything in there? Yeah. God, it looks like I'm getting the dregs here. Look. Where's me? There it is. Get the bloody dregs here. But then I don't want a great deal on there. I just want it to darken down the same colour as the flesh side. Oh, do you know what, we've got some over Shrewsbury Ness. It's an island off of Essex, in Essex, and the military, they do a lot of testing with explosives and what have you. And I live quite, as the crow flies, it's got to be Can you? I don't know if you can hear that droning. But stop now. We can use a police siren. They do love using here. There's a drone and another one. They like using their siren because they're late for their tea break. They use it absolutely unnecessary, just to get from one side of the city to the other. There's the drones. It's like a vibration. I don't know if you're hearing it. But anyway, that's got to be, oh, I don't know, some 30-40 miles away, something like that. But they quite often do that, testing out bombs and God knows what. All this Secret Service stuff. There you go. But when SH1.T hits the fan, I shan't be around, mate. I'll be looking after my family and gone. And if they think they're going to come round and take my guns, they can think again. They've already had me pistols and revolvers. They're certainly not having me guns. Well, all I'm left with is my shotguns now. So, you know, whereas over there you can still have it. I mean, I had a Ruger 1022, little carbon barrel, silencer on it, semi-auto, brilliant little gun. Talk about accurate. I put some scopes on it, and I could put one bullet through another bullet hole. That's how accurate that was. But there you go. This is me clips that I'm getting out here for the. I want one there. I'm going to use two of them, and I now want one of these. Goes the weasel. I want one of them. That's the back side. That's the back. Oh yeah, I only want one of them, don't I? Yeah. Just want one of them. See how that goes there. I must slurp my tea. I'll keep letting them go cold. Oh dear, that's lovely. Well, what do you think of it so far, YouTubers? Rubbish! I know, mate, I know. So, I'm going to get me a nice bit of leather, nice bit of harness leather. I tried to get the military brown. I only ever had one skin of that, one hide. Oh, it's a beautiful colour. Never been able to get it again. Proper military colour it was. Rivets, that's what I'm doing, isn't it? Right, let me see where they are. They're over here in another little goodie box. Right, that's the long ones. Those are these little washers that, you know, I punched them out. They're for the little Sphere 123 and 123R stoves, and they also do the 8R stove and the 11 Optimus 111. The valve system's all the same. That's my punches. Where's my rivets? In here. Here they are. Let's see what we've got here. Right, put that over there. Get me anvil. Sorry about that. I nearly woke you up. Get me little anvil. Cup dish, I shall need that later. And I think these little short rivets might just do that. Let's have a look, shall we? I'm not going to risk that. I'm going to use a longer one, a longer shank. No, I'm not, because that's too long. I'm going to go back down to one of these. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm going to go down to that one. Carbon, that is. The idea of that is to stop you breaking the tip off of your punch. What's What's this one? That's a 3. Can't remember what one I use. I thought it was a 2 I used. Let's have a look. Bit small. I'm going to use a 3. Now one in this corner, as we said. Also, and the other one, where's the other one going to go? Through here somewhere, wasn't it? Yeah, for the one on the bottom here, wasn't it? That's going to go through here. Right, now that's going to go through there. Get the little cap. I'm hoping you can see this. Take that off of there. We just give that 1 or 2 smacks. That's it. And then what I do is I use this. It's dished. This little tool is dished. They come with the rivet things. There's a bigger dish one there for the large ones. See, they're for this size rivet. And what happens is it dishes in there and makes them nice and oval. Right, so I'm going to use this one on the other side, and it is just 1, 2, just ovals the rivet, just a tadge, just makes it look neater. And I've got to get one up here on this side. Put a cap on there. Give it a smack or 2. Do the same with that one. That's it. There you go, job done. There you go, Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Well, catch you around in part 4. Bring you back second.